Welcome back to another episode review of Eerie, Indiana. If you're new here, I've been doing an episode review of every single episode of Eerie, Indiana, so feel free to watch my previous episodes. In this video, I'll be reviewing episode 18, called Zombies in PJs, and it's the second to last episode. So let's get into it. This episode originally aired on April 12, 1992, and was again directed by Bob Balaban of Seinfeld. The episode starts off with Marshall's mom trying to get Marshall to pay her back or return his disguise kit because he still owes her money. Marshall pretty much says he doesn't have the money, so she makes him return it to the world of stuff. Marshall arrives at the store and tells Mr. Radford he'd like to return his kit.
No! 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 No!
Is that a definite no or a maybe no? It says on my warranty I can return it.
Where?
In the fine print.
Let me see that.
Mr. Radford tells Marshall the IRS is sending a man to audit him, and he tells Marshall if he knows what that means. Mr. Radford says of course they don't know what that means. All they know from taxes is what they pay on their gum.
I forgot to pay my income tax. For 12 years. Mea culpa already. It slipped my mind.
Simon says it was an honest mistake. He's sure that they would understand.
The IRS? They are ruthless, heartless bureaucrats with one goal in life, making me pay. Why, the average IRS agent would make the devil himself seem like Mr. Rogers.
Just then, the doors open, and we are introduced to the Donald. The Donald was played by Rene Auberjonois. He was known for The Christmas Star, Police Academy 5, and Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Sadly, he passed away in 2019. The Donald tells Radford that it kills him to see a place like this not living to its earning potential, and Radford says he can say that again, and then the Donald says he can probably help him.
If you let me handle promotion, ads, TV spots, PR, I guarantee you'll clean up. I'll stake my reputation on it.
Marshall asks him what's in it for him, and the Donald tells Radford to close his eyes and begins to tell him to imagine.
You are wearing a short-sleeved Hawaiian shirt, masculinely unbuttoned to the navel. You have on a gold watch so heavy that all the ladies scantily clad in bikinis are flocking to you. The sea breeze is blowing your expensively yet subtly darkened hair. If you don't sell every item in this store within 72 hours, you don't owe me a thing.
Mr. Radford wakes up and is anxious to sign, but Marshall asks Mr. Radford if he wants to read the contract first. The Donald says why. It's a win-win situation. Mr. Radford asks when do they start, and the Donald says they already have. Marshall says that Mr. Radford normally doesn't top his worry list, but being broke made him an easy mark. Marshall says that he had no clue what was in that contract, but a little voice inside him was telling him not to trust a dude with a ponytail whose first name was The. Marshall says it didn't take long for the Donald to overhaul the world of stuff. Mr. Radford was the poster boy for suckers everywhere. Marshall thinks he's the only one who thinks the Donald's name should be changed to The Slime. Mr. Radford reveals his new banner outside the world of stuff and is going crazy pricing everything.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. One more?
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm your boss.
Oh, I'm going to be so rich, I'm going to stink.
Yeah, we're gonna need more airtime,
Yes.
more promotional
Yes.
spots. No,
Yes.
don't worry. The agency
Yes.
I represent is one of the oldest in
The money I
existence.
feel.
Branches in every corner of the globe. When the bill comes due, you'll be promptly taken care of.
The Donald then notices Dash, who is obviously shoplifting.
Catch!
Gee, I wonder how those got in there.
Busted.
Mr. Radford says it's people like Dash that ruin the shopping experience for everyone else. Dash says he's gotta go, but the Donald says not so fast and offers Dash a job. Dash laughs and says he must be joking. Marshall tries to butt in and tell Mr. Radford he doesn't think this is such a good idea, but the Donald cuts him off and tells Dash he likes his initiative. Dash is confused and says what's in it for him. The Donald tells him he'll get a slice of the profit pie once the money starts rolling in. Dash says he's in, and where does he sign? The Donald says on a dotted line, and Dash says he's always wanted a job in retail. Marshall says that those two couldn't deserve each other more. Dash X and the Donald both thought they were outsmarting each other. They were both pulling scams. The only question was whose scam would win, but Marshall knew who would lose, Mr. Radford. It cuts to Marshall's family watching TV, then all of a sudden, the Donald appears with his commercial.
The world of stuff is having its midnight madness sale. All money down. There's no applications to fill out. With our easy credit, could even I get credit? It's so easy. All you have to do is sign. You just can't get enough. You just can't get enough. You just can't.
The commercial seems to be hypnotizing Marshall's family into buying things. Edgar says he can't keep his eyes open and decides to go to bed, along with Marshall's mom and Sydney, who are singing that jingle. Later on, Marshall has a really weird dream.
Dreaming. Wake up. Wake up. Come on, Marshall, you can do it. Wake up.
He's still resisting the advertising. It's time for more drastic measures.
I've heard of subliminal advertising, but this is ridiculous.
Marshall finally wakes up and hears noises and footsteps coming from downstairs. He sees that it's his dad sleepwalking with a kayak, mumbling just can't get enough. Marshall was seeing a side of his dad's personality he's never seen before. Marshall can't help but to think if this is what's going to happen to him when he falls asleep, he never wants to sleep again. And we see Marshall's mom and sister and the rest of Eerie sleepwalking in their PJs like something was luring them. Marshall runs into Simon, who's glad that Marshall's awake. They don't know what's going on besides that everyone is sleepwalking to the world of stuff. Marshall and Simon head over to the world of stuff to see what's going on. Marshall says it's become clear that he wasn't the only one shopping in his dreams. They head inside and we see the Foreverware twins sleep shopping as well, and Marshall's family is back. We see sleep zombies fighting over a stuffed animal. Marshall says that just when they think they got a handle on how weird Eerie is during the day, the whole town does a belly flop at night. We see the Donald handing out pens to the zombies in PJs so they could sign the contracts. Marshall wonders if there's anything he can do to stop Eerie from signing its life away. Marshall says the Midnight Madness sale was completely insane. The Donald was unleashing weird hidden consumer fantasies in Eerie. Were people buying stuff they secretly wanted, or was it all the advertising creating new desires for things that they didn't need? We see Dash X wearing a ponytail now, giving clothes to Sydney.
Nothing's going on here but a little harmless capitalism. Besides, everybody's having such a good time.
I'll take 10 of these.
Mom, get down from there. You'll get hurt.
Marshall tells the Donald he has to stop this.
Hey, it's the American way.
Listen, Mr. V. Nobody turns my family into zombies and gets away with it.
They're not zombies, they're consumers.
Yeah, besides, how can you tell the difference?
Marshall and Simon leave, but tell them they'll be back. The Donald says he's sure they will. Then Dash says they're open 24 hours. It cuts to Marshall and Simon in the attic slapping each other to stay awake, but it was the only way to stay safe. Then Marshall hears some noise downstairs, and him and Simon go see what it is. Marshall sees his dad passed out on a chair with a bunch of things he bought. Marshall asks him if he knows who he is, and Edgar says of course he does, which makes Marshall happy he's back to himself. But then Edgar realizes he has a bunch of things on him, and he starts to ask where did it come from, but starts to hear that jingle again and starts to fall asleep. Sydney and Marshall's mom are telling each other how great their dreams were last night and how the World of Stuff was having the biggest sale. Marshall then calls to his mom, but him and Simon passed out in their cereal. Marshall says that sleep finally got the best of him and Simon because they became shopping zombies. At the World of Stuff, the Donald and his crew are celebrating when Marshall and Simon walk in.
We want to buy something we don't need.
On credit.
Mr. Radford tells him he has 2 things left and gives an Elvis lamp to Simon and gives Marshall his disguise kit back. Then the Donald tells him all they have to do is sign on the dotted line. Then an alarm rings and Mr. Radford says he's out of stuff and starts yelling he's rich. Dash is pretty excited as well and tells the Donald that he'd be taking his piece of the pie now, and then the Donald laughs and says it's not so easy. Then the phone rings. The Donald is apparently talking with his boss, and Dash gets another cell phone and listens in to the conversation apparently.
Shank's kid hasn't got a clue. He thinks he's getting a piece of the pie. So send the buses. It's time for the good citizens of Erie to go to the mall.
Dash says that nobody messes with his piece of the pie. Dash finds Marshall and Simon who are sleepwalking and wakes them up.
Thanks, I needed that.
Marshall says what's the big idea and if they bought this stuff.
This is very cool. But why did they make a lamp just for some guy in your paper route?
Marshall asks Dash if they signed anything while they were asleep, and Dash says afraid so, and shows them their contracts. They are looking at the contract, and Marshall notices there's fine print. Simon says it's just a dot, but Marshall says they need more magnification. In Marshall's attic, they start to look at the fine print on a machine.
Fine print. In this lifetime, as well as the incarnations, the next 10,000 lifetimes, blah, blah. Oh, here it is. If buyers don't pay in full in cash, the Donald Incorporated gets to repossess their souls.
What does he want with our souls?
He doesn't have one of his own.
Then Dash remembers the Donald said something about busing people to the mall. It cuts to the Donald boarding people onto buses and talking to his boss on the phone.
It's 24-hour haul since the last days of Rome. Real Old Testament style. What's going on? Hey, don't worry, kid. You're gonna love the mall. What's the matter? Don't you want to shop forever and ever and ever?
Marshall goes inside the World of Stuff and tells Mr. Radford he's got to stop this. Mr. Radford says he'd like to, but they all signed the contracts. Then the Donald enters and says, "You sign, you go. Buyer beware." Marshall, Simon, and Dash run out, but the Donald grabs Simon and Dash. Mr. Radford says he's sorry, but there's no way to beat this guy. Then suddenly, a mysterious man comes in looking for Mr. Radford, who was played by Brian Clark, who's known for Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Mr. Radford confirms it's him he's looking for, and then the mysterious man reveals he's from the IRS.
We have an audit to go to. It seems you haven't filed a return since 1979.
Do I have a choice here? Couldn't I just go straight to hell instead?
The mysterious man tells Mr. Radford he's going to be needing all of his receipts. Dash tells him that Mr. Radford doesn't have them, but the Donald does. The Donald refuses to give his receipts, but the mystery man reminds him he's from the IRS. The Donald begins to throw a tantrum, and Marshall says that Benjamin Franklin says there's only 2 things that are certain in life: death and taxes, and the Donald disappears into the ground. Simon gives the receipts to the mysterious man and tells him that Mr. Radford will be fully cooperating with him. Then we see everyone waking up and leaving the buses outside.
Marilyn, what are you doing outside in your nightie?
Edgar, I might ask you the same thing.
The mystery man reveals one final thing.
It's to our personality. Usually never get to see.
Marshall?
Wow. Just like on TV.
The disguise kit I sold you.
Mr. Radford says that this has taught him a valuable lesson. The best thing in life cannot be bought or sold. It has no price, and without it, nothing matters. Dash says, "What is it?" And Simon says, "A soul."
Boy, that was a close one.
Yeah, devil almost got you, huh?
No, I almost got audited.
Marshall says that Eerie's souls were safe for the time being, at least until Radford's audit was over, and with the IRS, that could take an eternity. And that concludes episode 18, and what a great episode. The show was ahead of its time, and episodes like this prove that. The whole selling your soul and consumerism thing was well done in this episode, and great acting all around. It's sad that we're almost done with this series, just one more episode to go, so with that I say thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.